I'm printing wombats, and when I print a lot of shirts, my mind wanders, and sometimes my mind wanders about 100 million years ago. Sometimes I wish this would work. Hughenden, Queensland, and there's a lost time traveller, a Muttaburrasaurus, in the middle of town, standing like it owns the joint. I set up my sketchbook, the sun tries to kill me, and somehow I get a page full of dinosaur magic. I've made this video for my fellow nature journalists and prehistoric nerds. So let's talk wombats. Stout, stubborn, built like tanks with attitude. Bit like me before coffee in the morning. Today I'm printing wombat shirts, big, blocky beauties with attitude, and a backward facing pouch. Because if you're going to dig tunnels for a living, you don't want to get dirt in the nursery. Nature thinks of everything. But as often happens when I'm printing, my mind wanders not far, just about 1,500 kilometres inland, to Hughenden, Outback, Queensland. You see, there's a dinosaur there, a proper Aussie one. A Muttaburrasaurus. There it is, smack in the middle of town. Life-size sculpture. Big, beaky, and gloriously prehistoric. And here I am with my nature journal, sketching, while trying not to melt away in the heat. The Muttaburrasaurus is named after a nearby town of Muttaburra. There's a large herbivore from the Cretaceous, about 7 metres long. Big enough to look down on you, and polite enough just to eat plants.
It's all right, Miss Nielsen. I believe that they are Dinosauri, plant-eating dinosaurs. Perfectly harmless.
Just because it's herbivore doesn't mean it's not dangerous. Dinosaurs never actually become extinct. They just changed, evolved. I mean, some become extinct and some kept going. The other day I was drawing a dinosaur. It's often known as the world's most dangerous bird, the cassowary. I was there sketching it and I wasn't getting too close to it. Now, the cassowary eats plants, it eats seeds, it eats things like that. It doesn't hunt down people and eat them. But is it dangerous? Yeah. I tell you what, if these Muttaburrasauruses were around today, there's no way I'd get near their young or their eggs. I reckon they would give you a nasty bite with that beak. What makes it stand out is that nose. Big bulbous structure over the snout. Scientists reckon it may have helped make sound resonate for their call. Or it could be a display, or maybe it just had allergies. It's Australia, I wouldn't blame it. After sketching the sculpture, I head into the Hughenden Information Centre. There they've got a life-size skeleton, enough to spark the imagination. Now this is where the imagination lights up like a Bunnings warehouse at Christmas. Yes, I'm scribbling fast. This isn't a slow, perfect museum drawing. It's journal fuel. You see, it doesn't have to be perfect. A rough sketch gives the viewer something to imagine. A photograph hands you everything on a platter, but a scribble, that's a doorway. The brain fills in the gap. It becomes interactive. So when you're journaling, don't worry about making things rough. That's part of the process. Don't be afraid to zoom in on details either. A skull here, a hand there. Nature journaling isn't about copying everything like a scanner. It's about looking and thinking and having a conversation with time. You can sketch the statue, sure, it's tidy and showy, but skeletons talk. Every curve and socket is a clue, a fossil whisper. Here's how I moved. Here's how I lived. And also, I had an excellent thumb. Look at that big old thumb spike like an iguanodon on a mission. Not exactly for hitchhiking, but if you were a Muttaburrasaurus, you could definitely say good job with some flair. So if your sketch looks like a dino crossed with a startled chicken, good. Means you're there. Means it's yours. Besides, half of paleontology is just confidently guessing where the bits went anyway. So here's what I've got. So here's the rough sketch of the Muttaburrasaurus I did. I put a map in here. Basically, because we travelled a long way, like there's Townsville, that's the east coast of Australia, all the way here to Hughenden, and then we went on to Richmond after that. And so this is sort of journaling. This is sort of, just reminding me how far inland I went to see this guy. Here's the sketch I got of the bones, and I did a close-up of the skull, just on a different angle, showing that big nose there, and the hand with a thumb, a bit like an iguanodon. So that was a really cool experience. And so it's a bit of a snapshot. Kind of reminds me of the smell of the dust and the sound of cicadas, the circling of the birds, all that stuff that you experience there in the outback. It kind of comes back with you in here. While I'm in here printing away, and I love it, my mind goes back out to the outback and just reminds me of that. Reminds me of what's important. Makes me want to go back. And if you guys come back here, I'll probably still be here printing t-shirts and drinking coffee. See you in the next video.